I was recently asked, should my children's book have a lesson? That's a great question, which is good because otherwise this would be a really boring video. Anyway, so should your children's book have a lesson? The short answer is yes. That said, there are so many aspects to how to write a good children's book that the real question shouldn't be whether your book should have a moral, but how to teach a lesson in your book. First and foremost, kids do not want to be lectured. Between parents and teachers, most kids feel like they're lectured on a daily basis. A book should be an escape, not another chore. You want your book to talk to them, not at them. So subtlety is the key to adding a lesson or moral into your children's book. Next, you want to know your age range. As I've mentioned in numerous videos, children's books is a huge generic category. Children's books include concept books, picture books, early readers, chapter books, middle grade, and even young adult. So depending on the age range that you're writing for, that will determine how subtle you really need to be with the moral in your children's book. For example, in a picture book that's for 3 to 5-year-olds, you can be more direct with your lesson, leaving more obvious clues and hints throughout your story as to what the child or character is learning. On the other hand, in a middle grade or young adult book, your lesson needs to be a lot less direct, or again, you'll just seem like you're lecturing. Next, you really need to research your niche and sub-niche. Different niches and sub-niches may approach lessons in children's books differently. The best way to do this is to read books in that niche and genre that you want to write in. What morals are those authors including in their books? How are they implementing them? Things like kindness and sharing, making new friends, and trying new things. These are all common lessons that are found in children's books for younger kids, while books for older children may cover more adult-like themes like dealing with loss, overcoming fears, handling moral dilemmas like keeping secrets, things like that. Knowing your niche will really help you isolate effective ways to handle having a lesson in your children's book. Now, all that said, don't just copy what someone else has already written. Just because those are the typical lessons that you'll find in children's books, that shouldn't limit you to what you can include in your book. Okay, so we've covered some really great tips so far, but the most important tip of all when it comes to how to teach a lesson in your children's book is, wait a minute, what am I doing? I haven't even introduced myself. If you're new around here, my name is Keith Wheeler, and if you want to continue to get all the hints, tips, and tricks on how to make self-publishing easier, then be sure to subscribe to the channel, smash your little bell icon so you get alerted each and every time I put out a new video, just like this one. Okay, so the most important tip for writing a children's book with a lesson is make your story come first. It doesn't matter how important the lesson is or even how well you snuck it into your book. If your story sucks, the kid's just not going to care. When I write children's books, I jot down the overlying lesson and then I forget all about it. It's time to focus on the story, the characters, the plot, the adventure. These are the elements that your reader really cares about. This is what's going to keep them listening if it's a picture book or turning the pages if they're a bit older. These are the elements that make your book get reviews that say things like, couldn't put the book down, or my child keeps asking me to read it over and over again. You can't pay for reviews like that. That just comes from having a good book. Now, once I have the story written down, and it's fun and engaging, then and only then do I go back to the lesson that I wanted to teach, and I ask myself, how can I convey and interweave that lesson into the story that I've already created? Maybe we're getting a bit ahead of ourselves. Perhaps you have a moral or lesson that you want to teach in your children's book, but you don't quite have the story yet. Well, then check out this series right here that I did where I walk you step by step on how to create a children's book. I'll even share with you the checklist that I use when I write my own children's books. Now, if you've already seen that series, or maybe you already have your story written, then check out this video right here that YouTube says you absolutely want to watch. I'll catch you in one of these videos, and remember to write right.